For Senator Richard Blumenthal said tonight Blumenthal received 2 negative COVID tests and plans on heading to Washington for a vote on a nominee for the Federal Reserve, saying his vote may be decisive. His spokesperson said Blumenthal did not come in close contact with Reese on Friday and is not experiencing any symptoms. Senator Chris Murphy also self-isolating, tweeting tonight that he received a negative test result this morning. He previously said he also did not come in close contact with a staffer, but planned to isolate until he got the test. His team said tonight that he plans on returning to work per guidance from the Office of the Attending Physician. Now, the governor